The Japanese diet, more than just sushi and sashimi. That's something I'm going to talk about today, so stick around. Hi, my name is Sachiaki Takamiya. I am the author of the Ikigai Diet and Ikigai Bio-Hacking. Okay, so whenever you think of the Japanese diet, you often think of sushi and sashimi, and Japanese food is very healthy because of it, because they have a great ingredient. Yeah, we don't eat much meat. We eat, fish and beans and so on. However, there is more than that, right? Now, when I say more than that, you might think, oh, he's going to talk about natto again, right? No, I'm not going to talk about natto today, even though natto is definitely, a great Japanese ingredient. Yeah. Today, I would like to say not only what we eat, but how we eat is a critical element of the Japanese diet. Yeah. Um, Now, what we eat is critical too. Yeah. Definitely, we have a lot of healthy ingredients in the Japanese diet. In fact, I have a Japanese superfoods list. Yeah. If you're interested, yeah, you can get it if you sign up. Yeah, with my newsletter in this site, which I put the link in the description box. Yeah, you can get this list. Yeah, so we do have a lot of healthy ingredients, but that's not the only thing. Yeah, how we eat, yeah, how we consume those ingredients is the critical part. Yeah, so many people are fixated on what to eat. Yeah, what we should eat and what we shouldn't eat. Yeah. Now it's interesting because even when people talk about Okinawa, they sometimes argue whether Okinawan diet is plant-based or not. Yeah. Now Okinawa is part of the Blue Zone, and it is introduced. Yeah, that they eat predominantly plant-based. Yeah, because according to Dan Buettner, the Blue Zone's diet, the 90% of the Blue Zone diet is plant-based and only 10% is animal-based. Yeah. And because of that, many plant-based food advocates, yeah, use this information to kind of promote plant-based diet, saying, see, that's how centurions eat. Therefore, plant-based is the key to longevity. Yeah, and then the people who kind of support like animal-based diet, disagree, saying that is not true. Yeah, blue zone diet is not always plant-based. And then I just watched one video about Okinawa. This guy was talking about how that was not true, saying people in Okinawa eat a lot of pork. In fact, they eat a lot of pork and they eat a lot more pork than what it was described in the Blue Zone documentary. Yeah. And which is probably true because yeah, they do eat pork, and Okinawa is close to China, so their diet is very much influenced by Chinese diet. I mean, it is a Japanese diet, and many elements of the Okinawan diet is Japanese, but some part is Chinese, and pork is one example. So they eat more pork than average Japanese person does. Yeah. Yet they don't eat a lot of pork. I mean, still, I mean, yeah, some, but not all the time. Yeah, especially in the past. Yeah, it was because we have a hurry and care. We have a sort of care period which we usually stay kind of disciplined, and only hare period. That's when we have feast. We have a pork and stuff like that. So not all the time, but probably today now, yeah, they do eat pork regularly. Yeah, at least maybe a few times a week and so on, right? Yet, I don't think they eat as much meat as in the standard Western diet. Yeah, so the idea that Okinawans eat a lot of meat is again not true, right? So either is accurate in that sense. Yeah, and then in fact, what they eat or what they don't eat is not so important when we think of the the secret of the Okinawan diet. Yeah, because even though they eat pork, yeah, they don't eat a big, steak. They kind of eat a thinly sliced pork, and they also eat a lot of other food with. They have other vegetables and sweet potatoes, and then they also eat tofu and fish and so on. So their protein source is not only pork. Yeah. Therefore, when you look at the Japanese diet too, yeah, it's not what we eat or don't eat, yeah, but what we eat those foods with, yeah. So the secret of the Japanese diet lies in the diversity of the ingredient, not so much in each ingredient itself. Yeah. Now, this is because our tradition called Ichiju Sansai, which I talked about in the last video. Yeah. Ichiju Sansai is a basic format in Washoku. Yeah. And it means one soup and three dishes. So usually we have a one soup, one bowl of rice, and one pickle dish, and then three side dishes. Sometimes we have four side dishes or five side dishes, or sometimes only two or one. Yeah. And then, but the food is very balanced. Yeah. So having many small dishes is the key. So instead of eating in a big plate, we have lots of small plates or small dishes. Yeah. And this brings diversity and balance to our diet. Yeah. Okay. And then, so when you want to practice the Japanese diet, you don't have to eat Japanese food because of it. Of course, you can use Japanese ingredient. I mean, that's also good, but you don't always have to import food from Japan. I mean, some people, buy seaweed and, tofu and natto at a Japanese food store, or they import them from Japan. I mean, you can do that, but you don't have to do it. You can use your own ingredient as long as you understand the principle of the Japanese diet, which is how we eat. Yeah. So you can apply Ichiju Sansai to your food, to your local ingredients. Now, so how do you eat? What is your typical dinner, for example? Yeah. Probably you have one protein dish, could be meat or beans or fish, and one carb dish could be bread, potatoes, and maybe a salad and a soup. So yeah, I mean, you do have several plates, right? Not only just one plate, right? But then I would add a few things. Yeah. So here I would add another vegetable dish. A salad is great. You have a salad. And then salad is a great way to eat vegetable because you can eat vegetable raw. And in that way, you can absorb enzymes a lot more effectively. However, there are limited types of vegetables that you can eat raw. Yeah. Therefore, it is often good to include some heated vegetable dish. Then you can use more wide variety of vegetables, like stir-fried vegetables or steamed vegetables. I like steamed vegetables. It's a good way of cooking. Yeah. Or you can have vinegared vegetables, pickled vegetables, and so on. But whatever the way it is, add another vegetable dish to increase the diversity. Yeah. And then maybe add another kind of protein dish. Yeah. If your protein dish is meat, maybe add a plant-based protein dish. Like you can have a natto, or you can have other bean dish or tofu dish. Yeah. And if your protein dish is like a plant-based, like let's say you practice plant-based diet, and then your dish is beans, then add nut-based dish, nuts and seed. It is often good to combine beans and nuts and seeds. Yeah, because you have a different kind of nutrient, right? And you can add fermented food dish like a pickles. Pickle is a good dish to add because once you make pickles, it lasts for like 1 or 2 weeks. So you can keep that in your fridge, and then in each meal you can just add it. It's very easy. You don't need to prepare it for each meal. Yeah. So you don't have to have like three side dishes. Maybe one or two, because for lunch, for example, you're busy. You don't want to spend too much time in cooking and so on. So, but the idea is to increase the diversity. So, instead of having one plate, use small dishes to have many dishes. Now, the other thing is, mago wa yasashi ko. I sometimes say mago wa yasashi. In fact, in Japan, mago wa yasashi is a keyword that is known. Not many people know about mago wa yasashi ko. Yeah, this is just adding grain. So in the book, I said mago wa yasashi plus grains. So it's the same thing. Yeah. So what do they mean? Yeah, they mean beans, nuts and seeds, seaweeds, vegetables, fish, mushrooms, potatoes, and grains. Right. So when you choose ingredients, think of this list and try to include as many ingredients from each category as you can. Yeah, try to include some bean, try to include some nuts and seeds, seaweeds, vegetable, fish, mushroom, potatoes, grains. Yeah, and then within each category, try to include as many different kinds of food, yeah, as you can. So diversity is the key. So when you look at the beans, yeah, think of many different kind of beans: soybeans, chickpeas, lentils, kidney beans, yeah, nuts and seeds, almond nuts, cashew nuts, peanuts, pumpkin seeds, yeah, sunflower seeds, and so on, yeah. And then for fish, if you're vegan or vegetarian, of course you don't have to eat fish, yeah. But the idea is to just include, a variety of, kind of ingredients, right? So when I go to a supermarket, what I do is when I, go to a vegetable section, I try to buy as many different kinds of vegetables as possible. Yeah, not only lettuce and cabbage, but buy carrot, onions, yeah, eggplants, yeah, green peppers, broccoli, yeah, garlic, uh, ginger, and so on. Yeah. And I also look for mushrooms. I always buy mushrooms. Yeah, often mushrooms are sold in the same section of vegetables, but often you kind of forget about it if you're focusing on vegetables. But I always make sure to include mushrooms when I buy vegetables. Yeah. And then for beans, you can have a stock at home of different kind of beans, right? And potatoes too. Yeah, not only eating regular potatoes, try to eat sweet potatoes, taros, and so on. Yeah, and grains too. Rice, wheat, oats, buckwheat, yeah, barley, and so on. Yeah. Yeah, therefore, the key is Ichiju Sansai and Magoa Yasashi Ko. When you prepare your meals, think of those two concepts and you can use your local ingredients. Yeah, try to find your local ingredients to meet those two, points. Right. All right. So for more details of Ichiju Sansai and Magoya Sashiko, please read my book, The Ikigai Diet. Yeah. Also, in the book, there is a chapter about Ikigai Diet menus where I recommend how to prepare your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yeah. Because for lunch, it's more like a simple casual. Dinner is bigger. So you have a different way of preparing for each meal. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is Sachiaki Takamiya. I am the author of the Ikigai Diet and Ikigai Bio-Hacking. If you like this video, please give me your thumb up and subscribe to my channel, and please leave your comment. How do you prepare your meals? How many small dishes do you have in your meals? Thank you. Well, I will see you in the next video. Live with your Ikigai!